man, it was terrifying. All I could think at first was, oh my gosh, he fell asleep. He's ran into somebody and killed him. All right, just got home, backed the truck into the shop. Got these airbags lifted up all the way. Got me a soapy spray bottle. Man, it's weird, I just don't hear anything. I'm gonna get the creeper and crawl under there and do all sides of these things, and we'll see what happens. All right, so it's been a couple of hours now. No leaks on the airbags. We do know the leveling valve is messed up, and I took the blow-off valve off of the bottom of the air dryer. Sent Lita up to the parts store here in Valdosta. Just this piece right here is $209. So they had the whole entire air dryer They had the whole thing for $200. So just this piece, $209. This whole thing, $200. The other one was a Bendix. This one is a Road Champion. So I'm either hoping the airbags problem was... No, that shouldn't be tied into the airbags. There should be like a one-way valve, I think, from the air dryer to that. I don't know. All I can do is hope that the leveling valve was 119, I think. So pretty wild. That's 209 and the entire thing with the governor. The only thing that's missing off of this is there's like a little pancake compressor. So I got to go underneath there and take everything off, because I don't know if I'll be able to go under there and just remove this and keep the can. I've never replaced one with the little pancake compressor. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to replace the whole freaking thing. All right. Started working on the leveling valve, but I need the airbags pumped up in order to get under this truck. Trying to contact this broker about this freaking detention, and like she's asking like numbers off the BOL. It's like, we've emailed you the BOL. What is going on here? Anyways, I stopped doing the leveling valve because I want the airbags pumped up so I can crawl under here better. So this is how I'm doing. This is how I'm keeping the line straight. I got a paint marker, and what I've done is I've tried to paint all the left lines. See the white marker line on the lines? And then because I'm retarded,
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm taking a picture of this. Is that thunder? Taking a picture of this so I know where those lines were on both sides. Ugh. See, I got another paint marker here. This one's on the right side for some reason. Make sure my pictures came out. I wanted to replace this dryer filter too anyway, so I don't know, I guess $200 for this thing ain't that bad. And then we'll get all these lines pulled off. We'll have to undo these bolts here. Swap that pancake compressor tank over to the new one. Mount it up and swap the lines back in. It is the next day now. I had to go get a new fitting. I couldn't get the hose out. And I ended up messing up the little plastic piece that you push in here. So we had to run up to get a new fitting this morning. I just got that swapped out. I got the truck airing back up. I want to make sure that this lever's in the right position because I feel like I had to switch the other one for some reason. So we'll let this thing air up and we'll see if we got any leaks. Let this thing sit overnight a few nights, see if the airbags go back down. Hopefully not. And see what happens. All right, good morning. It is now Saturday. I've been fighting and fighting with this truck. So the leveling valve and the... You guys can come in here. The leveling valve and the air dryer did not fix our air leak. So when Lita went up and bought the air valve, one of the technicians told her that there could be a one-way check valve on one of the on the tanks. So I took some of these fittings off of the air tank, and then they do not have a one-way check valve in it. So I put the air fittings back on, and now the air fittings are leaking, so we got to get new air fittings, and nobody's open on Saturday. So now we have to wait till Monday to pick up some of those new air fittings. The issue that I'm seeing is even the new leveling valve has a slight leak coming back out of the input. So right here is our input, which I had to buy a new fitting for that too. You're not supposed to have air that comes back out. This is supposed to have like a one-way check valve in it. And you can just barely hear it like hissing out of here. So I went back up to Worldwide expecting to get another leveling valve, thinking this was bad. But the guy was saying that it shouldn't be coming out, but that shouldn't be the issue because we should always have air coming from the tanks. So basically, as long as the tanks have air in it, it should be forcing air back this way, and it should always have air in the tanks. And then he was like, maybe it's your air dryer. I was like, well, I bought the air dryer from you guys too. He's like, oh, maybe it's your transmission. Maybe you should just bring the truck up here. And they want $400 to look at this. I'm like, bro, I can't pay you $400. I can't pay you $400 for that, just to look at it. So I'm basically stuck in the water right now until we get those new air fittings on the tank and I can air this thing back up. I mean, I've sprayed soapy water everywhere, man. Like, you can't hear any more air leaks. Like, there's nothing. I don't understand why this thing is losing air in its airbag so fast. I could buy a one-way check valve and put it here, but that's just a Band-Aid on the problem. I still think there's a leveling valve issue. That's a TRP leveling valve. This was what, like $115? $116 for that? Because this comes straight from the air dryer. So why am I losing air from here if we're not losing air from our air tanks? That's the problem. What do you think, Fat Butts? What is the problem? I don't know. I'm going to try to shoot some more air in this valve so I can get these bags up, because it's impossible to get under this truck with these bags being empty. But I can't really like spray anything down because we can't put air in the system because those fittings are bad. Can't freaking win.
Do you think those fittings were like...
They weren't leaking before because I sprayed all that stuff down. they weren't leaking before I took them off. And I took them apart and cleaned them up and tried to make sure that, I mean, the O-ring in there is good. They're just leaking. These crappy little fittings that they use, man, are not good. So I'm going to try to air this thing up. Maybe I'll turn the camera back on and see if you guys can hear it leaking from here. But that's not supposed to leak back. But that should only just leak back to the air tanks. What did we find out?
That the aftermarket, even though it's specifically for this truck, is like maybe like, I don't know.
A half-inch too long?
Yeah.
So she watched a video where a guy was having the same issue. And even though this leveling valve is for this truck, he mentioned that this rod could be the wrong size. So I found that if this rod is in the exact spot where it's supposed to be, no air comes out of here. So I swapped the old rod back on here. I don't hear any air coming out of here now. So we're going to let this truck sit now.
I mean, we still might leak because of that stuff up there.
Well, no, because this is the supply line.
Okay. I don't.
This is the only line that gives these airbags air.
Okay.
It comes up from it goes from the air compressor to the air dryer to this line, and it feeds this. Mm-hmm. And then this feeds the bags on the front. This is our exhaust valve.
Yeah, the video that I watched, he's like, I swapped it, we were good to go, and then like he like did an update, and he was like, so like we're still losing air, like his ride height was off. It was because of
this arm was the wrong size. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but if I put that there, you can see that those holes don't line up.
It's like a quarter inch off.
I don't know. We'll let it sit. We'll see what happens here, man. That'll be nice if that fixes it, because then all we need to do is buy the 2 elbows that go from the main line to these tanks, and then swap those over.
He said you could take this leveling valve apart and like check to see if the O-rings are bad.
Oh, yeah?
But he had problems getting these right here off. They were stripping.
Yeah, so that's the old one.
So there could be like a bad O-ring in there. You replace the O-ring, it's good to go. But if you can't get it off.
Yeah, I mean, what else is going on in this shop? Lita's power steering is leaking, so we got to figure that out on her hearse. Did you see that Facebook ad I sent you? The F-150?
No.
Yeah, we might have to go buy a truck.
What?
Yeah, you should look at that. We might be going and getting a truck this weekend.
God.
All right, well, I'll give you guys an update once this thing sits for a bit. Also, I forgot to mention this. I was on Facebook Marketplace like I always am. Look, there's Peppers. Hey, Pepper. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, so anyways, I was on Facebook Marketplace. I found 4 aluminum Alcoa rims in Albany. And the guy only wanted $200 for 4 of them. So we got 4 aluminum rims for the trailer. Alcoa! I feel like that was a pretty good deal. I mean, they're pretty dirty. They need a good cleaning. But that's 4 out of the 8 rims. For the trailer. Because those ones on the trailer, no matter how much paint I put on them, they just keep rusting. These things are supposed to be like 30 pounds lighter than a steel rim too. So if you do 30 times 8, that's 240 pounds that'll save us. So, worst case scenario, we put these on the outside and then find 4 more for the inside one day. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I feel like that's a pretty good deal, though. $50 a rim? I've been keeping an eye on trying to find some rims for that thing because of the rust issues that they're having. $50 a rim. That's the cheapest I found. He was trying to sell 4 rims and 4 tires for like $700. I was like, hey, how much for just the rims? He was like, $200. I'm like, I am on my way. All right, well, again, we're waiting to see if this leveling valve fixes this issue, and then we'll be back. All right, an hour later, we are out of air again. What is going on here? Hey there, I just filled it back up. It's coming back out of this port. All right, so I found a piece of spare hose. We're gonna plug it into the leveling valve, and then I'm gonna take some vice grips. I'm gonna pinch this hose off, and we're gonna make sure that we don't have another air leak from our airbags. So we'll fill these airbags back up, and then I'll pinch this off. All right, another bad airbag. I sprayed all of these down with soapy water. I completely filled them up with air past their point, but that one's definitely leaking too, so we're gonna have to get another airbag for that.
Somebody said they use like the dollar store bubbles for kids.
Oh yeah?
That shows everything.
Well, this is just soapy water, so it's the same thing as bubbles. What? Another bad airbag.
So a lot of people said, check your airbags, but...
I sprayed the crap out of these things multiple times.
I mean, maybe... I don't know. Maybe
Let's see if we can find out where it's leaking from. I'll fill this back up again, all the way. Is this going to blow it up though? I don't have a fitting on here. This bag looks way better than the first one. Oh man, it doesn't look bad. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. It was definitely leaking from here though.
Yeah.
You can see where I was spraying it. Let me grab this water. Oh, there it is.
We just pushed enough air in it to make that.
I completely inflated this thing and sprayed this whole bag down.
Yeah, but If that valve was also leaking, then it wasn't pushing as much air
Maybe.
because there were 2 leaks.
Think I can just super glue that? Some JB Weld or something?
It's just a pinhole.
I mean, that means the back 2 bags are probably coming up on its lifespan too.
I mean, we could have a leak in those right now, right?
I didn't hear anything. Of course, I didn't hear anything with this one
Yeah.
either.
It's just a little teeny hole.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a little hole right now because there's hardly any air going to it, but there's probably some decent air that comes out of there. I don't know. Oh, man. I hope when we replace this, this is the end. Because air leaks are such a nightmare. I mean, here's the other one. I mean, we've got this one here that we've had for a long time. It came with the trailer when we bought the trailer. Should I blow this thing up and
But it's
see if
not.
it's the same size? It doesn't cross-reference.
Then it's not.
Ooh.
I mean, I bet the airbag is junk.
Bro, there's a bunch of... I'm not even trusting that. That's just going to go in the trash.
Just have to buy another one.
Another one.
If, I don't know.
That's crazy, man. Like, I never heard that one leak until just now. Not that much. You just want to be out there bad, huh? Crazy cat. Well, guess we have to wait till Monday to go get another bag.
And those elbows.
And the elbows. The elbows are going to probably be expensive. I bet these things are $25 a piece. I took them apart because you can pull this out. I did it with a flathead, and there's an O-ring down in there. Cleaned all in here. I don't know if these, because there's some metal flanges that like spread out. I don't know if those are like worn out and they're not like...
Gripping.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, air still shouldn't be coming out of that, man. See you Monday. All right, good afternoon. It is now Monday. I went up and I got a new airbag, and we got 2 of those elbow fittings. Got the airbag on. We've got it aired up. Went back under there, sprayed everything. We do have 2 little fittings. I don't know what they do, but they're barely bubbling. I don't have the fittings here. If this works, I might just go ahead and go up there and get the fittings to fix it. Let's see, last I would talk to you guys, I was testing the wires on the ABS. They ended up testing good all the way up to the front of the truck. So I think it's our ABS ECU. I found a company that I can send it to that guarantees to fix it or my money back. I think it's like $450. Those things are like $2,000. So we may go with that, but we had a little bit of an issue this morning. Me and Lita got woken up at 4 o'clock this morning to Nate. Nate was in a bad car accident this morning. Why is it filming sideways? He was on his way to work at 4 o'clock this morning, and he ended up getting in a car accident. So we had a really bad storm last night, and one of the roads that he has to take to go to work is super dark. And he was coming around a corner, and there was a massive tree in the road that spanned all the way from one side of the road in the trees to the other side of the road in the trees. and the tree was off the ground maybe 3 feet. And he couldn't stop in time, and his car ended up hitting and going underneath of the tree and making it to the other side. So his car went under it. It would have had to lift that car up. Went under it and went to the other side. It smushed the car to the ground so hard it broke the air or the oil filter off. So we get there. All I can think on the way there was he fell asleep and he's ran into somebody and killed him, because he called me at 4 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, Dad, I got in an accident. It's really bad. You need to get here. I said, okay, I'm on my way. Hung up the phone. We threw on some clothes, hauled butt. I get there and I see the tree laying in the road. And all I can think is he fell asleep. At this point, all I could think is he fell asleep and hit a tree, and he's knocked that tree into the road. Well, that wasn't the case. The case was the storm last night blew that tree over. And the sad part is the sheriff's department knew about it, because there was a gentleman there on the other side of the tree. So Nate's coming this way, and the guy's trying to go this way, and he can't because the tree's in the middle of the road. So as he's sitting there, Nate plows underneath. And then they end up calling 911, and Nate's like, hey, I'm on this road and I've been in a car accident. And the dispatcher said, did you hit that tree? And he's like, yeah. She's like, okay, we got somebody coming out to you. Anyways, they end up rushing Nate to the hospital. They did a bunch of MRIs. Luckily, he's okay. It's amazing that that car did what it did with the size of the tree.
Just went over the top.
Yeah, right over the top. That car must have picked that tree up and set it back down. It looked like the oil filter was on the ground this morning too.
Yeah, they was all everywhere.
Yeah, so it obviously bottomed out the motor and then ripped the oil filter off of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just couldn't figure out how this here didn't just.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Just
Wow. Look at that. It just ripped this metal all up.
Yeah, look at that. Probably didn't get him like, whoa, Lord. That was,
If that would have caved in, he wouldn't have a head right now.
wow. Look at there. It's got wood inside the car.
Yeah.
That's what I saw like this
Bark,
morning.
man. That's the bark off the side of that tree in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like you. I can't believe it's here to just. Something was holding it up. It had to be the man above. How high? I wonder how high it was. It had to be about this high in there. They didn't.
No, the tree, I had to crawl underneath the tree. The bottom of the tree was only that tall.
Yeah. See where it went across that hood?
Look, see, this tire was flat again.
I need to somehow get to it.
Reaching through the windshield.
Be careful, you get cut up.
That was there. I mean, the tree was, it was a big pine tree, probably that big around. And that car tanked it, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. And all he could talk about was, oh my gosh, my car. I'm like, bro, don't even worry about the car. I'm just glad that you're okay. So we were at the hospital till, was it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Till 10 o'clock, and they finally released him. Man, it was terrifying. All I could think at first was, oh my gosh, he fell asleep. He's ran into somebody and killed him. And then I get there in the tree and I'm like, oh my gosh, he hit a tree so hard he knocked it over. Come to find out the tree was laying across the road. So the car is obviously completely totaled.
That's gone.
I'm not even worried about the car. The car is whatever. We have full coverage on the car. I could care less about the car. But it's pretty scary that happened.
Yeah.
So
He was extremely lucky.
he was so lucky. If those A-pillars wouldn't have held that tree would have took his head right off. And I've got some footage and some pictures I'll include here of us going and getting his stuff out of his car at the junkyard, because they towed it to the junkyard already, obviously. Well, holy smokes, man, that was crazy. So, anyways, we've got the new bag on. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, that was our morning.
Yeah, good morning, right? Anyways, so we've got the new bag on. The truck's up to level. I guess we're gonna let it sit out here for a while and see what it does. I went ahead and ordered 2 new airbags back here. So I got these from Rainey's, or not Rainey's, Fleet Pride, and they're $160 a piece. But if you order them online, they're $60 a piece. So I went ahead and ordered 2 new back ones.
From Fleet Pride or Amazon?
From Amazon. But it's the same airbag. So anyways, we'll have to see what happens here. Hopefully this fixes it. I don't know what Nate's going to do about a car. We'll have to figure that out. I've already contacted the insurance company and let them know. I don't know.
It was lucky we were home.
Lucky we were home. I can't believe that car. I can't believe how strong those A-pillars were on that car. Had he been in my Mustang, he'd be dead. There's no way those A-pillars on that Mustang would hold that.
I mean, like looking at that car and his car, they're like a lot.
Oh yeah.
A lot thicker.
They're heavy duty. I just can't believe it hit it so hard it snapped the oil filter off.
Yeah, there is so much
Oil everywhere.
road.
All right, anyways, let's give this some time. We'll see what happens. Did you shut the truck batteries back off?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll shut the truck batteries back off. We'll give this some time to hopefully
Hopefully it's fixed.
still good.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to you. All right, so it's been a couple of days now, and look, we're still full of air. So we pretty much spent all day yesterday. We went and bought Nate a new car to him. Got him another Focus. It's a year newer, and it only had 47,000 miles on it. We ended up buying it from a hermit. Somebody who hated to leave their house. Gets all of his groceries delivered to his house. He just doesn't like to leave his house for whatever reason. Anyways, it had a little bit of front end damage where he said somebody backed into the front of it. I'll take this thing out there and show you guys a little bit of video of it. It's a little hot in here right now. I wasn't expecting it to be this hot out here. So, but the airbags just came, so I figured I'd bring them out to the shop. Looks like they're pretty much the same thing. They have the 1/2 inch fitting, so I'll have to run and get 2 1/2 inch fittings for this. But yeah, the truck is holding air, so that's great to see. So I'll probably swap these things out tonight. Today is Wednesday or Thursday. Pretty much got everything taken care of for Nate now. So after I get these airbags swapped tonight, maybe I'll start looking for a load tomorrow. Maybe we'll leave out this week. Maybe it'll be next week. Yeah. So this is the car. It's a race red. Oh, it's a 5-speed too. These Ford Focuses are known for bad automatics. And we were able to find them a 5-speed. This thing took all day long to go get. It was down by Tampa. We ended up getting down there at like lunchtime, and we didn't end up leaving there till like 4 or 5 o'clock. It was a complete mess. It was a nightmare. We ended up calling our bank, getting cash out, start driving there, and he's like, hey, can you pay me in Zelle? I was like, okay. So we stopped by another Regions, deposited the money, and then we get there, and the max amount Zelle will let us use was only $2,000. So then we had to go put the money, then we had to go back to the bank, pull the money out, take the guy to his bank because he no longer has a car. And then man, it was just a big dang fiasco. Anyways, this is it. It's I mean, it's pretty clean. I mean, honestly, we got super lucky with his first car, and man, his first car was really clean. This one he's already vacuumed and done a little bit of shampooing, but a little bit of front end damage over here. We've ordered him some new headlights because this headlight's broken now. But the guy had like bungee cords holding this corner of the bumper on. And you can see I've got a plastic, like a welder thing. It melts these plastic clips in to hold the two pieces of plastic together. We didn't realize the hood was damaged before we got there. Ended up getting there and we could see that the hood was damaged. Light needs replaced. But we've pretty much just kind of got it Frankenstein for now. I feel we got a pretty good deal on this, especially with 47,000 miles. And I pulled a Carfax on it and everything. This thing has 47,000 miles on it. We took it in the shop. I mean, that thing is immaculate underneath. So, but yeah, that's his car. He's pretty excited. This will be his first 5-speed. It's got a little bit of damage back here on this back bumper too. So when we order him a new bumper, I'll go ahead and paint the back bumper and the hood for him too. But yeah, that's it. It's race red or something is what it's called. All right, we got 4 new bags. The back ones are definitely a lot easier to do than the front ones. And I'll be honest with you, man, I think these aren't the same name brand. These are MVP truck parts. These seem like they're way better quality than the ones that I got from Fleet Pride. Look how nice and smooth and round these bags are. And then you look up there and you can see, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's like dimples where it's not pulling out properly. So anyways, we got those done. And now we're having a issue with our glove box in here. I guess this is a pretty common thing with T680s, where you get the dreadful handle moves, but the box won't open. So I just watched a guy's YouTube video. Let me give him a shout out. A Canadian Asian, I believe he is. Tanker. He found if you drill a hole up here and then you take a small screwdriver, you can push down and it'll pop this thing open. So I'm going to grab a little small drill bit that'll match the size of a little screwdriver we'll have to keep in here from now on. He said, and this was 3 years ago, Kenworth wants $750 Canadian for this. I don't know what that is in American. I don't know, what is that, like 1,000 bottles of syrup? I have no idea. So let me grab a drill bit, we'll drill a hole, take a screwdriver, we'll see if this actually works. Alright, so in his video, it looked like he was halfway into this, and then about halfway into this. So we'll drill a small hole here. Is that about halfway, you think? Alright. Got us a hole drilled. I found a little tiny screwdriver. Take this. Oh, look at that. I almost just busted this thing open and said screw this thing. Yeah, so we'll have to deal with that until maybe I can find one of these. I don't know what broke in here. And I don't feel like tearing this whole glove box apart right now. So that is what we are going to have to deal with. Yeah, look at that. Sweet. Good thing I had a little plastic pry bar out here. I was like, well, it's done. I'm just going to have to bust this thing open. I have no idea what we have in the glove box, but we got to have access to it. So, little tiny hole, little tiny screwdriver.